Welcome aboard, everyone, and happy Saturday. Back here in the Cessna 152, and we are on the ground at Gainesville Regional Airport. And we're going to be making a quick little hop over to Daytona. This Saturday, Vatsim, or VAT USA, is holding a fly-in at Daytona Beach to celebrate the beginning of the NASCAR season. So we're sitting over here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my ForeFlight here on my tablet. Clear our previous flight that was going on. Let me see. I got aircraft popping up on here. Here we go. Alright, we're there in Gainesville. Lots of aircraft showing up here. Not sure why. That's okay. Alright, so we are going from Gainesville, which is Kilo Golf November Victor. Add to route. And we are going over to Daytona Beach. A lot of aircraft showing up over at Daytona Beach. Wow, yeah. Daytona Beach. Add that to our route. We are going to go IFR. So let's take a look here. Daytona's got a couple of runways. Current weather. Pretty gusty. Looks like runway 7 left and 7 right are the best, but we're still going to have a pretty decent crosswind. So 7 right, 7 left. 7 right is 3,000 foot runway. We could do that to make things a little easier. They have one arrival. It's the Thor 3 arrival, but we don't have the capabilities of doing that. Approaches. 7 right doesn't have much of an approach. Got some RNAV approaches there, but it's not something that we can really do. So let's take a look here. Looks like you come in. GSAD. GSAD gets you lined up. Tacker, then GSAD. So let's see if we can do that. We'll probably do that as our approach here. Let's see if we can add Tacker. T-A-C-U-R. I don't think I spelled that correctly. Yeah, there we go. Tacker. T-A-C-U-R. Yeah, let's just go JUSAD. 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 J-U-S-A-D. And we'll add that to route. We'll see if we can go JUSAD, and then we'll go... Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Let's move this around. So we're going to go Gainesville to JUSAD, and then JUSAD into 7 right. Try to stay on the short. We'll go on the short end of the runway. Right. Select runway. Runway is going to be 7 right. So we'll go JUSAD to 7 right. I think that ought to bring us in pretty easily for them. I see a lot of aircraft approaching from that way. I think if we go direct JUSAD and then JUSAD over, that ought to help them out. Flight plan, we are going east, so we're going to have an odd elevation. So we're going to go 3,000 feet, 95 knots. We are going Kilo Golf Victor, or Kilo Golf November Victor. And we are going to Kilo Delta Alpha Bravo. We are going IFR. We're going JUSAD. And then put request 7 right for landing at Kilo Delta Bravo. Alright, so we let our flight plan sit up there for a minute, and let's see, we're going to make sure we've got our audio settings correct. Coming from center, actually I'm going to get the audio coming from the right. What's our current setup here? Flip that to center, and we're going to go audio output device to to the right here, like a little bit closer to me. Turn that audio up. There we are. So by the looks of it, we are under Jacksonville approach. It's 127.0. Then we got Daytona approach, but they'll hand us off to whoever they're going to hand us off to, and then the tower. Wow, we've got a lot of guys working tower and ground. But Jacksonville approach is who we'll reach out to for our IFR clearance. It's 127.0. I'm going to flip over to that. You should start hearing some chatter. But all that being said, where'd my notepads go? I got a bunch of them. I had one I've been using. I feel it. It's underneath my VFR map here. There we are. Got some of my notes from my VFR flight the other night on there. But I want to have this good and ready for our contact with Jacksonville approach. John Tinney 127.0. We're on the ground over here at Gainesville, which I do believe. Yep. Okay. So we're all set here. Let's look at our navigation log. So Gainesville over to Jusad, it's a heading of 117. That is 68 nautical miles to that point. And then Jusad into Daytona Beach is just 5 miles. So it's a total of 73 nautical miles. Showing an 8 knots headwind, so it'll be a little bit slow going, and that's okay. So I think we're just about ready. We're on the ground here. I'm going to go ahead and get my ForeFlight back over here so I can see exactly where I am. We're on the ground here near Echo. Weather in Gainesville, pretty gusty here as well. Looks like runway 7 is going to be our best runway for departure. Actually showing best winds runway 11. Wow, 1-1 gust 3-4. Okay. All right. Well, let's give Jacksonville approach a call and see if we can get our IFR clearance. I think we're tuned in right. It's very quiet. Not hearing a whole lot. Mic 1 is set. Yep. Check our ForeFlight 127.0. That's set. I want to make sure that my flight plan has loaded up. Jusad, we've got a request for 7 right for landing. That'll put us on the short runway, but we are a smaller aircraft, so I think it'll work out well for them. We can have them save the larger runways for the larger aircraft. There seems to be quite a bit coming in there to Daytona. So let's go ahead and give Jacksonville approach a call and get our IFR clearance. Jacksonville approach, Cessna 8394 Tango. We're on the ground at Gainesville, looking for IFR clearance to Daytona Beach. My apologies, sir. I must have got the 0 key stuck. That's going to be 3,000. I'll amend that right now. 30,000 feet in a 152, that would be interesting. Alright, A394 Tango is cleared via radar vectors to Jusad, then is filed. We'll climb and maintain 3,000. Departure is with you on 127.0, and we're going to squawk 5535.
Winds are definitely favoring 7 there if you can take the shorter runway.
Alright, we'll let you know when we're ready to taxi, and I'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Actually, just shifted at 09011 goes to 35, so either runway works.
Alright, sounds good. I might be able to just take off sitting still. Alright, we're squawking 5535. I like this guy, man. He's got a good attitude. Seems pretty happy. Seems like they're having a good time. Let's get our altimeter set correctly. So here at Gainesville. Alright. So, yep, 09011, gust 35, visibility 10 miles, sky clear. 17 degrees Celsius, dew point 6, altimeter's 3034, humidity 48%. So 3034. Alright, so we got our altimeter set correctly. Let's go ahead and get prepped for departure. Let's drop 10 degrees of flaps. We're going to bring our trim. Pretty good wind, so I'm just going to do 5% up. Let's make sure we've got all of our lights on here. We don't need cabin lighting, pitot heat, we should be okay. Nav lights, there's the strobe, there's the beacon. There are the taxi lights. And I think we're ready to go. We're right here off of Echo, so if we're going to go 1-1, I would probably expect Echo to Echo 5 to 1-1. 1-1 is also going to get us a little bit closer to our departure. Alright, so let's give them a call. Jacksonville approach, Cessna 8394 Tango, we're ready to taxi. Alright, we're headed over to runway 11 via Echo 5, 8394 Tango. Alright, here we go. Whoop. I say here we go. What do we always have to do? The parking brake. Parking brake's off. We're ready. We're going to make a little right-hand turn here. So I did post on Vatsim page earlier, especially for our European friends. I had put a post up about the Boston Fly-in. Good God, look at that windsock. I had posted about the Boston Fly-in, and several of our European friends pointed out, hey man, that's like middle of the night for us. So today, when I saw that Daytona was having their fly-in, and it was going to be, you know, early in the evening for them, it's from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock Zulu time, which is about the time for most of our friends over in England. I posted it up, and I said, hey, you guys said you needed one that was about your time. Here you go. Let me stop talking and start driving. I said, hey, here you go. You should all come on in and enjoy. It looks like it's been a pretty big hit right now. I mean, we've got Jacksonville Center on, Jacksonville Approach, we've got Daytona Approach. Daytona has got multiple tower and ground controllers online. So it looks like it's a big hit. Let's go on down to Echo 5. This is Echo 4. Shouldn't be too long of a trip for us, maybe about an hour. But should be a lot of fun. Yeah, that windsock, man, it's up and down. Well, it's halfway up, all the way up. There is no down to it at this point. So let's get down here to the runway. We're not going to go ahead and dial in any additional frequencies at the moment. We're probably going to get instructions to fly runway heading, if I would guess. And then we'll get some vectors. And this thing does not want to turn. There we go. Let's slow up just a little bit. It's coming to the end of the runway hot. Alright, so we'll get right here to the stop line. And let's do a quick briefing before we call them and request takeoff. So we're here in Gainesville. We're at runway 11 on Echo 5. We have no other aircraft around, at least not that's shown up on Vatsim map or anything like that. We do have information now. Let's take a look at the information. Information Alpha. Okay. Got somebody heading off to Daytona. We are going radar vectors to JUSAD, and then as filed, JUSAD's going to set us up off the end of runway 7 right there in Daytona, which is the shorter runway. Be good for our little aircraft. We're to climb and maintain 3,000 feet, and we're to squawk 5535, which we are doing. We've got Jacksonville Approach on 127.0, and there we're calling. We are at a controlled airfield. Does not have a tower, thus Jacksonville Approach is in control of us. 10 degrees of flaps, 5% trim. Runway is clear. Final is clear. We're ready to go. Jacksonville approach, Cessna 8394 Tango at 11 on Echo 5. We're ready to go. Runway 11 cleared for takeoff. We'll fly the runway heading 8394 Tango. All right, we're clear. As expected, we're flying the runway heading, and we'll give them a call after we get about our first 500 feet. Wind is coming just a hair from the left, so we're going to watch that on liftoff. We don't want that wing to get picked up. Yeah, man, the wind is gusting pretty hard. All right. And we're squared up. Here we go. On the way to Daytona. Probably going to be one of the shortest takeoffs in a 152 you've ever seen. And there's 60. And we're up. Whoa. I mean, that put me in a stole competition, let me tell you. Man, that wind, man, it's picking up. We are climbing, climbing. All right, let's go a little nose down there. Let's get our first 500, and we'll go flaps up. Woo. 8394 Tango, we're 750 now, climbing for 3. Maintain 3000 and turned our heading 110, 8394 Tango. It's probably the shortest takeoff I've had in a 152. And it really was. All right, 110. It's going to be our heading at the moment. There's a middle marker right there. All right, we're going to come back on the throttle. Woo. So I'm going to radar vectors. Let's keep her coming up. So we get up about 3,000 feet. Hopefully that should make things a little easier for us. Probably makes our controller friends a little happy. We have an aircraft that's IFR. Even though we're general aviation, we still file IFR. Kind of helps them out a little bit. My trim just right here. All right, we're on our way to Daytona. We'll get back to you.